Hello, dear friends. Welcome to another Spiritist magazine program. Here we are every Tuesday evening. We come together to read and reflect on one of the articles from one of the issues of the Spiritist magazine. As always, we encourage everyone to visit spiritistmagazine.org, where you can find all of the issues of the magazine free of charge for your use, for download, the link to the app, and the opportunity of cherishing these beautiful teachings that the superior spirits bring to us. Today, we'll be talking about beneficence and charity as we are entering the Christmas weeks here, at least in the United States, in the cold, the beginning of the winter. It's not technically the winter yet, but it will be. We have this time for reflection, the joy of being together. People are buying gifts and donating over their time. So today we are going to be learning with the Spirit Emmanuel about beneficence and charity. It's issue 24, in case you can join me with while reading the same article. I share my screen with you at the moment. If you're listening to this, or if you are watching on demand, or you're listening on SoundCloud, or you're able to watch us on YouTube or Facebook, we have the opportunity to cherish these teachings, to digest them, to break them down. Very easy. I share it with you so that you can also do that with your Spiritist group, with your family, so on and so forth. This beautiful cover of the Spiritist magazine. This issue specifically was published in January of 2014, 10 years ago. Yet the teachings of Spiritism are timeless. So if you keep scrolling, you always have a different message, a letter from the editor, the table of contents. Then you come here to beneficence and charity by the Spirit Emmanuel. So today, this is from the book Money, which is already published, translated, and published in English for your purchase. I believe you need to visit the website of the Leal publisher to obtain this book, but we can quickly check for everybody so we can put on the comments what kind of books we are looking for. We are looking for the book about money. Search for money. So it's not Leal Publisher, so it's gotta be FAB for the Brazilian Spiritist Federation in English. FAB Publisher. Didn't occur to me to look at it beforehand, but it is the book Money. I do have that book in my bookcase at home, not here at the center. So unfortunately, I'm going to owe you a link to where we are able to purchase the book. And you can purchase the book from Amazon. I'm going to show it to you. There are many, many resources for us to enjoy, many resources in English. So here's the book Money, paperback. You can have a Kindle version of the book if you like to read it on the Kindle app, or you can have the paperback version of the book. And then you can see the beautiful teachings. Excuse me, that was from the United States Spiritist Federation, not the FAB publisher. There's so many resources nowadays. We have to come it all together. If you go to Kardec Publisher, you're also going to get a bunch of different articles and resources in the English language for your study and enjoyment. So back to the article, Beneficence and Charity by Emmanuel. He says, Beneficence relieves the ordeal. Charity extinguishes evil. Beneficence aids. Charity solves. So, as we think about the spirit of Christmas, celebrating the birth of Christ, celebrating the holidays, we are Spiritists, so we are also Christians. But our brothers and sisters in humanity might be um, celebrating different holidays, so they are also joyful time for them as well, right? The Christ loves us all, Christians or not. We are all loved by Christ. He says, you may distribute handfuls of gold that are poured from your bag. This is us giving money to people. However, in doing so, you forget to add the light of your love in the form of respect and affection before others' wounds. Then you will have neglected to include the understanding that will help you reconcile with yourself. So let's say you're driving and there is a person who is unhoused on the street asking for help, then we can just pour without thinking about it, without acknowledging that it's another human being, or we can add the light of your love in the form of respect and affection, without judgment, without thinking that we are better, without dismissing, but truly with charity, right? Extinguishing evil, making people feel they belong and they're together with us. You may offer the precious resources of your intelligence to those who despair because of their ignorance. So some of us are blessed with knowledge of different things, and then we share precious resources of intelligence. So this day and age, people don't seem to appreciate as much expertise and knowledge, but we know knowledge allows us to give back to the community, the human community living on the earth. If you know of Spiritism, it's your duty to share the resources that your intelligence has granted you. He says, but if you steal the blessing of sympathy for the lesson, then you will not extend clarity to the companion whose suffering blinds them. So we don't go there and impose the precious resources of knowledge and intelligence and the ability to have and do things. We have sympathy that in the understanding that the companion in front of us is suffering. So when we volunteer, for example, as we did this weekend here in Richmond, with the food bank, we are sharing the resources, in this case, and the material resources of food. And then we don't judge. We infuse the food with empathy, with compassion. Those who are organizing the food distribution, they're sharing the resources of intelligence to be able to deal with the supply chain of collecting donations to be able to provide for the brothers and sisters in our county that are hungry who need assistance with obtaining food. Either a donation from your abundance. We have a lot more to give. We accumulate so much in this lifetime in physical possessions. Or the value of your culture does not matter in the service of elevating and refining the landscape that surrounds you. So just giving out of what the excess may not make a great of a difference in the people's life. Of course, it relieves suffering, right? Beneficence aids, Emmanuel said in the beginning. It is the way you express them by giving all of yourself. So to give what you would have used for yourself versus just what is extra. In what the Lord has lent you to distribute. So here's Emmanuel reminding us that God didn't make us to come here and hoard resources for our family and for ourselves. Of course, we have to obtain enough to have the basics of life, but we get lost by accumulation, accumulation, accumulation. This is the way we express ourselves because everything that we have, God has given us to distribute. Remember, the book is named Money, and money is a resource. So we obtain through work. We have housing, we have food, we have transportation, maybe some enjoyment, and then we give back to the community that has accommodated us. Because your attitude is a factor of fixation and this or that feeling on the vast human pathway. So there are billionaires now on the earth, several of them, and they could just make rain, put monies in bags, fly over places, and just release them. That would help some, but it's really truly how we feel, and we don't need to be billionaires, wait to be billionaires or millionaires to donate. But there are ways where those who are wealthy in the eyes of our society do so much good for their foundations, creating health, creating vaccines, fighting malaria, combating malaria and diseases, and preparedness for epidemics. Others donate to entities like Acumen, which is a leading in the field of microfinancing. So they look for projects all over the world. For example, LED lights in the continent of Africa because people don't have the electricity resources, battery operated lights so they can safety to go to the outhouse at night and don't feel fearful, or the exchange for cleaner ways of burning fuel. Acumen is a business. They have to have resources to be able to allocate it back to those who are most in needs, focusing on the people locally that are making things to improve the life of those in society. Fraternity Without Borders, they collect donations from people, and then those donations are distributed all over the globe, right? Primarily in Africa, but in South and Central America as well. They have to have people who are willing to donate. But it's the way that they deliver, because anybody can go and be like, oh, here's some money. No, it's like, hello, how are you? How are you doing? So on and so forth. A living example of compassion is better than a sentence adorned with exaltation of virtue, which is merely pronounced by the mouth. We can say beautiful things, but living examples of compassion are better. Being kinder and nicer and understanding our actions allows us to model Christ, and then we are being a model to others. Yes, you are, dear friend. Nobody's seeing, nobody's watching. Yes, even if there's nobody in the physical realm, there are spirits all around us watching what we're doing. And maybe they haven't even experienced seeing someone being kind to one another, and then that can be a prompt for them to improve their outlook in life. The gesture of brotherhood is more beautiful than the comforting arms likely to be spread just for you with the mechanical effort of an arm. Just giving of abundance, right? This is because we all need inner renovation to access the treasures of spirit, what's inside of us, that little tiny seed of divinity, living spring, chapter 30 inside of you, needs to flourish. And they flourish with this inner renovation where the soil is purified, where we are constantly cleansing ourselves of lower vibrational attitudes, thoughts, and ideas. By doing good, that's the secret. Doing the good. By using the momentum of our own souls. Let us value the word through which will spread goodness. So we need to use our mouth wisely, especially now in the holiday season. We're going to be meeting with friends and family. when we are spreading this beautiful news of Spiritism online, we want to use our mouths to spread goodness and not fake news and not slander, not gossip, not hurt, goodness. To spread the good news, share this with someone, like the video so YouTube can suggest it to others. Like Kardec Radio, the Spiritist Magazine, the Spirit Society of Richmond, and your Spirit Society where you are in the world. Thereby edifying a life in us and with others and us, by doing our very best. So we are here to serve, to do the good, not to be served, to serve and do the good. This is from the book Dinheiro or Money, psychographed by the medium Francisco Cândido Xavier. This is the spirit is Emmanuel. It's chapter 7. Dear friends, and if you visit that Amazon link, you'll find the book Money for your own enjoyment, because God allows us to have money. Therefore, there is a reason for it to be. Dear friends, I hope that I will return next week with another study of the Spiritist magazine. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.